Hey YouTube, Coppersan here. Wild Hunter is one of the 3 classes that is least played across the board. Barely anyone gets this class to level 250. Heck, even to level 210 there's almost no one. So what happened that made this class so unpopular? That's what we intend to find out today in Why No One Plays Wild Hunter. The Wild Hunter class was first released back in 2010 and was considered a unique class with a Jaguar capture mechanic. You can summon and choose your Jaguars, which was pretty cool and still is pretty cool to this day. You can ride it too, which made it very mobile compared to most other classes, at least during that time, during 2010. Wild Hunters are the only other crossbow-wielding archer known for their DPM and multiple damage sources. They can place down 2 additional summons while running around the map, machine gun firing away. Like always, I got this class to level 210 to at least get a better feeling of what the grinding and fighting early game bosses is like post 5th job. Wild Hunters have been notoriously bad below level 200. Classes usually have a bad first impression. They don't get played that much higher up, and it pretty much shows for this class as well. The Hurricane skill was pretty weak with a low amount of lines, which made getting this class to level 200 quite a pain. In the recent years though, Wild Hunter has gotten a few buffs for their hunting, with more damage against normal monsters, additional lines, and even an entirely new mode for their Hurricane skill to help them with mobbing. When you're grinding, you first use your 2 short duration summons. Both summons only last for 30 seconds, and there is no timer to see their duration either, which is weird. Mechanic, for example, has a timer that shows all the buffs or all your summons, so it's easier to keep track of, but this class doesn't have that. Well, at least, you know, their booster is passive, so there's that. The second job, hunting assistant skill that shoots out arrows, will be buffed again in the Savior update though, to last for 60 seconds, which at least is a little bit better. Besides those 2 summons, you have a grenade skill that you can fire off while moving and using other skills. This is a 5th job skill, the grenade one. This adds to your damage when bossing and is a great way to clear mobs when running around your Jaguar. Grinding wise, I was a bit conflicted and a bit confused when it comes to which of your skills to use. Obviously, the new Wild Arrow Blast skill, that one was intended to help with mobbing, and it has a bigger hitbox and has more lines than your Hurricane skill. But this skill also kinda goes against everything that a Wild Hunter is. Wild Hunters are all about their mobility to constantly move around the map while using your skills. You're riding a freaking Jaguar, of course. But this mobbing skill stops your movement, which kinda kills the whole vibe of this class. Also, while looking at the other, like, 3 Wild Hunter videos that I found on YouTube that were at least a little bit more recent, most higher level Wild Hunters use their Hurricane skill while grinding and completely ignore this skill. Also, bloody hell, this skill costs so much MP. When grinding, I'm using so many potions now because of this freaking skill. That and the grenade skill cost like a lot of MP as well. I was having difficulties with the potion lock in boss fights, not because I was running out of HP, but because my MP was running out. Bloody hell, man. As I'm still early game, it's still okay to use it though, I feel like, since I can't really kill monsters quickly with the Hurricane skill yet, so I'm not really running around anyway, but it's still just a weird skill to use. Thankfully, also during the Savior update, Wild Hunters can from that point on use their Wild Arrow Blast skill while moving, which will fix this clunk. And it's also getting a short hitbox boost, and 60% more skill damage was added. So finally, some grinding buffs for this class. Maybe that skill will become a bit more viable then. Now they just need to add icons with timers for the summons, and then we're good to go. Overall though, their grinding wasn't too bad. I'm still too weak to use the Hurricane skill while grinding, so I'm stuck using the slow clunky one. But the grenades do add a lot, and your summons can at least also help clear monsters. This class ain't particularly strong, but it ain't too bad either. If any, I noticed their base stats, like critical rate and critical damage, i.e. boss damage, they're all pretty high, and of course critical rate and critical damage is high because it is an archer class. So you can focus some of your other resources like hyperstats on damage, which is always nice. Bossing wise, this class is different. So they used to be able to just stay on their Jaguar and fight that way, but after a revamp a few years ago, they now dismount while they are fighting and let the Jaguar fight alongside them, also controlling the Jaguar skills besides your own character. This is a way different way of bossing that can be a little bit more difficult to get into, and I assume this is also part of the reason why not everyone is still exactly jumping to make this class a bossing mule. While dismounted, your Jaguar can provide a powerful debuff, damage, and even make monsters target the Jaguar instead of you. But since the Jaguar has kind of a habit of moving to your character, it ain't really all that useful from what I've experienced so far. But then again, I'm not a great bosser with this class, and I'm still early game, so I apologize in advance to all 10 Wild Hunter mains. The damage of the class, again, it seems fine. They have plenty of damage sources with their summons, their different skills, and good DPM, and even a little bit of burst from their 5th job skills. They also have, since the Ignition update, 2 iframes. The 5th job skill Primal Fury and the reworked skill Feline Berserk. The skill gives a 2-second iframe when used and has a 70-second cooldown. Plus they have their own bind, which is great for saving up node slots for something else, like adding more summons, like Guided Arrow and your resistance dudes. Oh, and also good to mention, if you see a Wild Hunter that wants to join your bossing party, make sure to add them. This class has a super powerful party buff called Call of the Wild. This 2nd job skill increases attack and magic attack by 10% for the entire party, so that's pretty neat. When bossing, I was just trying to throw around my skills as much as possible while also staying in range. Funny that I say this though, and I think this says more about what MapleStory is heading towards than anything else, but the range of your attacks, they're not that big, so you have to be like mid-range to the bosses for everything to hit, which took some adjustments for me. Together with the micromanaging of your Jaguar, it's not a class that can be easily picked up. They also have about 9 skills that are useful to boost, which also makes it a hurdle as you need a lot of nodes to reach your full potential. So far we've identified a few issues that could cause this class to be less popular. It doesn't feel great early on, there is still some quality of life missing with the summons and the mobbing skill, and bossing can be more complex compared to the more popular classes. But I also think that visually this class just doesn't seem very interesting, to me at least. The skills don't really stand out and aren't visually very attractive or fun to look at. You can summon a bunch of cats, which is cool and all, and some of them do look nice, but they've looked the same since 2010 and the game has gotten a lot more to offer than 12-year-old graphics. I think Mechanic has a similar problem where the mechanic mount needs to be updated. It looks like you're on a freaking washing machine right now, and I feel that Wild Hunter is suffering from the same problem. It just isn't that interesting to look at compared to the more updated classes. I actually was hoping for a Resistance remaster similar to the Destiny and Ignition updates. However, that didn't happen yet, so maybe due to all the drama we've been getting this year, we might finally get some proper updates to these classes, including the Wild Hunter, at least this year. And even though I only played around with this class for a little bit, I can't say that I particularly disliked the class. It just was too much effort to grind and visually not interesting enough to keep me hooked. And I think that goes for most people. At least the Wild Hunter is getting a few but nice changes with the Savior update in June. But this video has been going on for I think about 6 minutes now. And now that you've seen a bit more of the class yourself, what are your thoughts about this class? Let me know in the comments. Do you even have level 200 plus Wild Hunter? Probably not. That's all for today. As always, many thanks to our members for making these videos possible. Special thanks to Niels de Coninck, Raar maar waar, Sebastian Hanoy, Ryalias, Terry Kim, Vareese, Mora, Wiley, Historycanon, BackSpaceOTI, Saffronyx, Ziggy Deer, Flidiot, Knifesu, Cloudfix, Gusus Rodriguez, Digby, Vira, Trevor, Michael Menchaca, Ratius, Justin Vale, Silvio Nato, Afterlord_MS, Striker Elk, Tidal Pun, Radical Jaws, Riser RU, Sir Tito 655, Mathias Simonsson, PC Game Life, The Passenger, Martin Panzik, Conrad Cristales, Ace Light, Mr. Narc, Ben Wolf, Max Bernhardt, Muka 1017, B&B King, Scotty Flies Fast, Priscilla, Brendon Cam, Vague Botnet, Fecco, Victor Sundstrom, ceemak, Only, Rashid Alarudi, Galando Balavia, Gianfranco Calderon Canavedo, Lucky Beats, Matinho Dev, Gummy Bullet, Lord Fazil, Spats the Kaiser, Zonnen, That Archer Guy, Rocco, Gabrielek, Louis Bento Brandao, Dante Victory, Snafflepop, and Astivalia. Thank you all so much for watching. Stay safe and happy mapling.